Yes, people, we're back out again on the old Honda. The weather, like always, is miserable, but I'm used to it at this point, so let's just go out and have a little bit of fun. That road is a lovely start to every ride, honestly. I love it. Let's go! Oh, I absolutely just fucking love riding bikes, man. It's just so fun. Honestly, if you don't got a bike, get one. It's the best decision you'll ever make, honestly. Oh, what's going off here? Right, so I've got a plan. I'm going to talk you through, in fact I want to go that way. I'm going to talk you through the bike license and how it works. And then, towards the end, I'll talk you through what bikes you can get on what license. So, we're going to start off with the CVT. So, this is compulsory bike training, which is something you have to do if you want to get a big bike. Your CVT is basically doing your slow manoeuvres. They basically, what they do is they teach you how to do it. They teach you how to do the slalom, how to do the figure of eight, and then once they've taught you through it, you go do it. Once they feel that you're good enough at doing it, they'll tell you to come back, and then you'll move on to the next step, which is your controlled stop, which basically you just ride and then you stop in between some cones at a controlled rate, and then you do the emergency stop, which is obviously an emergency stop, and then once you've done all your car park stuff, they'll take you in to a room if they have a room or whatever, and then they'll talk you through sort of like the highway code. They'll ask you about a few road signs and stuff, and then they'll ask you some questions and stuff, and then they'll take you out on the road if they feel that you're ready for it. And then once they've done that, once you go out on the road, you do all your riding, they bring you back, and then they'll give you your certificate. So first step into getting into riding really, and then after that you wait till you're 18, because you've got to be 18 to do your mod 1 and mod 2. So once you're 18, you do your theory test, and then you start doing your lessons for your mod 1 and your mod 2. So your mod 1 is the car park stuff, so your slalom, figure of 8, controlled stop, slow ride, hazard avoidance and emergency stop. And then once you've done them, when your instructor thinks you're ready, he'll book your test for you. It's a pretty simple test, I can't lie. You're basically in a giant car park sort of thing. You'll ride into a spot, reverse it, and then that's when you start to do all your little elements of the test. And then once you've passed that, I'll have to fucking reverse that because I'm not getting up that. Once you've done that part of your test, you move on to your mod 2 a couple of days later. Well, I'll say a couple of days later, whenever you're ready for it. And your mod 2 is basically just a road test. So you go out, you ride, the instructor will tell you where to go, when to turn, stuff like that. He'll tell you to pull into the side of the road and stuff like that, which is another, to be fair, explaining it, they're very simple tests, but the nerves get the better of you sometimes, which is something that you got to try and not let happen, really. So what I did is I kind of just thought of it as another lesson, but with a different instructor, really, because that's how your instructor will tell you how to do it. Let's see if I can get onto this grass verge bit a little bit. But yeah, I kind of just thought of it as another lesson, different instructor and a different area, but really it's all just the same, it's just somewhere new. So this is where things get interesting, because if you've gone for your A2 license, which is restricted, you can't just get any bike, it has to be restricted to 47 horsepower, or you can just get a bike that's got a low enough horsepower anyway, until you're old enough to do your direct access, which you do at, I believe it's 24, you do your direct access. Or 2 years after riding with the restricted license, your A2. But don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. So I've just done a little bit of googling. I was gonna film it in the car park, but there were like a ton of people and I felt dead awkward, so I thought absolutely not. Because although I've been doing it for I don't know how many years, because I had a photography channel before this, I still find it ridiculously awkward. Pardon me. I still find it ridiculously awkward to film in public. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to start riding and talk to you about it. So the first like sort of subsection, we've got adventure bikes. That's what I'm going to start off with. There's quite a few. There's the KTM 390 Adventure. That's a decent option if you want an adventure bike. There's also the Honda NX 500. What else we got? So there's the Benelli TRK 502. That's another good option. The CF Moto 450 MT. That's also not a bad option, because CF Moto recently have become quite popular with their bikes, because I've seen quite a few CF Moto bikes recently, and they've just brought out a new sport bike type of thing. But yeah, the next section is sport bikes. So what sport bikes can you get on an A2 license? You can get the Aprilia RS 457, which is basically a small version of the fucking RSV4, to be honest. It looks quite similar. We've got the Kawasaki Ninja 500. That's another good option if you just want in something that you don't have to faff about with restricting and everything. it's a good option. The CBR 500R, you can also get the CBR 650R as well. What else is there? There's a KTM RC350, which is another like low powered bike that you won't have to restrict. There's also something that didn't even enter my head, the Yamaha R3. That's another option you can go for if you're wanting some sort of like a sporty sort of bike. And then on to the naked bikes, which is what I've got. You can have the KTM 390 Duke, the Yamaha MT-03 and the Yamaha MT-07, but you'd have to restrict the MT-07. A BMW G310R. If I'm being honest, I ain't got a clue what one of them is. I'm just reading it off a list, but I imagine it's a decent starting bike. There's the Kawasaki Z650, which is something that you'd have to restrict, but it's not like it's not a massive faff to restrict. You could just, I imagine if you get it from a dealer, they'll restrict it if you ask them to, like they did with mine. What else have we got? A Ducati Monster. I don't actually know what that is, but I imagine that's another one that you'll have to restrict. But like I just said, it's not a massive faff to restrict a bike. The dealer will do it for you. But that is a list of some of the bikes that you'd be able to get with the A2 license. So there's a wide range of options that you can go for, really, when it comes to actually getting a restricted bike. There's tons and tons and tons of options. She's sounding good! This is not fun. This is not fun. Stuck behind bloody cars again, man. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe, and again, let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. See you, bye!